Hey, what's up guys, it's ElasticSpyder here. In today's video we are looking at an amazing Moskva game that I had just recently, and it was actually the day of the patch, and I am looking forward to commentating on this replay because I think it shows quite perfectly how to play the Moskva in as a, I guess, top tier cruiser. And when you have pretty much all tier 10s except looking like two or three tier 8s, you have to be somewhat aggressive and push your weight around, and I'm gonna kind of show you how to do that in this replay. Like I said, I am in my Moskva. I am playing with my buddy 3FM. He's in his midway, and well, the midway is one of those carriers now that is very, very competitive. Not that it wasn't before, but I think there was a discrepancy between the striking power and the defensive capabilities of the midway versus the Curio, and I think now that the midway has gotten buffed, or quote-unquote buffed, depending on how you look at it, it is very potent in terms of its striking power now, especially with those 2 torpedo bombers, as well as, if you choose to, those AP bombs. Now that's a discussion for another video, but we're going to be focusing on the Moskva here. In terms of my captain perks, I am running Expert Loader, then I'm running Adrenaline Rush, Superintendent, Concealment, and then AFT. A bit, I guess you could say, out of the ordinary. Usually you would pick Priority Target, and I would agree with you for the most part, but I've actually been, this kind of a hybrid build for Clan Wars, so that's kind of what I've stuck to, and I think Expert Load is actually a quite good perk, and I actually would recommend it on a lot of ships. And we've got tips enabled. Oh, shift, follow the shells, use binoculars, so on and so forth. So that's kind of why I use that. Normally I would pick Priority Target, but you just have to play a little bit more passively and be more aware of your situation and who's firing at you and who isn't. So that's all. My upgrades, I am looking at Main Armaments Mod 1, then I'm looking at the special upgrade for the radar, then AA range. Obviously you could pick something like accuracy, and that isn't a bad idea at all, but with things like midways in the game, I feel that extending my AA range out to 8.2 actually is a little bit more beneficial than not having it extend out that far, and it also helps cover my allies so they can stay alive for longer, especially those German battleships if that let's say midway is using AP bomb. And got a obligatory use of the New Year's horn, but then I'm looking at, again, going off the Clan Wars build, the damage control, then concealment, then reload. Nice shot on the Zao there. I was getting some citadels on that Minotaur before he slowed down into smoke, and I am already up to 7 citadels. Had that Zao not taken so much damage beforehand, I probably could have gotten maybe 2 citadels, if I'm lucky 3. But that's not the case. And let me just turn this off. I'm pretty sure you can turn it off somehow. Because that is so annoying. I know that I know shift is for binocular view. Gosh, that is so annoying. If that pops up every time, I apologize. We might have to disable the tips somehow. But again, I think if you haven't noticed already, the Moskva is one of those ships that is a long-range support ship with the super high velocity and extremely hard-hitting 220mm guns that this thing has that gets insane penetration even over long distances. It is obviously one of those ships that you can sit at range with and not be too worried about much. And normally on this map, Shatter, I would prefer to be on the west side just because, especially for domination, just because there's a little bit more flexibility. But On the east, you have to take it really wide, and I think it's actually more beneficial to take it really wide because you can shoot over this island. If you look on the mini-map right here, you can shoot. You basically have line of sight all along here, and they usually spawn around here in the C8 area. So that is something nice that, and kind of sometimes if they're trying to go to B, you can kind of surprise them sometimes. Like that Minotaur probably didn't expect me to be out so far. So I noticed that I am the lead ship, and I am going to slowly reverse. I'm getting quite a bit of focus fire. Get a citadel there, a bit lucky on the Minotaur. And there possibly could have benefited from the accuracy mod, and that is something you also have to keep in mind, since you do have these incredible penetration on these 220mm guns, and you've got this very nice velocity. You have some decent dispersion, however, at those ranges, and with the somewhat lacking sigma, a good sigma I should say, on the Moskva, then you could also consider running accuracy mod or aiming systems mod. I have done that in the past, and I've seen some very good benefits, but again, going back to the fact that we still have things like the midway in existence, and it has been buffed, I think it's not a bad idea to consider using AFT and a range mod. Pop my radar here because I'm thinking the Benson might still be around, but it looks like he isn't. Probably could have saved that had I been a little bit smarter. So here I'm going to push in pretty hardcore. I pick up the Chapayev on radar right as it goes down, shoot at him, and now I'm within his detection. And well, 2 front citadels for 14k. A nice shot there. He's turning out, so let's try and finish him. Aim a little too far in front. It looks like those should have been citadels. You can see they're right at the waterline. You can see those holes if you look very, very closely. But I got 6 overpens there, 3 more overpens and a citadel. Probably should have killed him in the first salvo, but it looks like I might get him here, and I do with 1 overpen. So very nice there. Could have cleaned it up a bit, aimed a little bit lower, it looked like, and I would have gotten more citadels and killed him a little bit quicker, possibly reducing some of the damage that I could have taken. But that was a fairly easy kill, and I'll take it. It's a radar cruiser. My destroyers have 1 less thing to worry about. Really the only thing they really have to worry about is, I guess, the Hakurio, and I guess the Minotaur. The Minotaur is a smoke Minotaur, so he's not got radar, that's for sure. So I'm deciding here where I want to go. I'm thinking it's best that I turn right, and I do just that. Basically, my reasoning here is they don't have anyone. They've got maybe the Benson over here somewhere, and we've got a lot of people in the center. They're also on the center here. If these guys in C and D4, if they're going to be angling against our guys in the middle, they're probably going to be sailing straight north, that would be. And that means if I'm over here, I've got pretty flat broadsides on them. So the Benson pops up. Bismarck does not slow down at all. He does not care about anything in life. And, well, he's eating a lot of torpedoes. He actually dodged those, but a bit lucky there. Looks like he's going to die to this Minotaur, though. I popped my defensive fire prematurely. I wanted to get this Bismarck within my defensive fire range, and so I'm a little bit worried about that. Bombers are now coming in. My defensive fire is down, but I'm not worried. It's only a Hakurio. 4 citadels there, and, well, Torps finish him off. Again, if these were midway bombs, midway AP bombs more specifically, I probably would be at about 12k right now. The Moskva takes a lot of AP pen damage from those AP bombs, they are very hard hitting, and something about this deck that, while it is quite strong, it does suffer against AP bombs for sure. So I asked 3 if he could keep some of his planes over by me, since my defensive fire is down for another minute. And this is another thing too. A lot of Moskva captains don't necessarily run dual AA builds, so like AFT and AA mod, and that's something that a lot of carriers don't expect. And when you start shooting down planes at 8.2 kilometers, well, they just don't expect it. They most of the time they expect about 7.2, because that's what like Des Moines is. A lot of Minotaur captains don't run both, and I guess same for Moskva too. So something just to keep in mind. You can just pick off planes here and there, even though you don't have a lot of DPS. You know, a little bit, a plane here, a plane there. It's always nice. Hakuyu is spotted. He's getting no, he's not getting striked yet. Notice how I'm keeping angled here. I'm keeping angled to those battleships, to my basically 12 o'clock, while still having shots on this Kutuzov. I want to delete this Kutuzov as soon as possible so I can start working on the Hakuryu, take him out of the game as quick as possible. 3 FM bombs in North Carolina, kills him. Kutuzov makes a mistake here, turns out, and there's a double citadel. And now we can start working on this Hakuryu. Notice now, as soon as those planes take off, they're already under my defensive fire, which I just popped there. Already. As soon as they leave the carrier, they're already under defensive fire. Of course, I'm manually selecting the torpedo bombers. I want to basically keep my guns on target, so I don't want to have to turn here. So I just keep manually selecting those. Just shooting Hakuryu, looking for those citadels. There's another one. 3 overpans. Hopefully I can kill him soon. Get a Confederate and a high caliber here. Sitting at 189. And there's 3 citadels for the kill. Yamato's not looking at me. Well, I'm definitely going to be using AP on his broadside at 12 kilometers. There's no doubt about that. He shoots back at me. I just turn in a little bit. He shoots quite high. If he aimed a little bit lower, he would have been much, much better off. Now here, I want to mention something. To me, when I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to eat this torpedo. I don't even care anymore. But really what I'm doing here is I'm keeping myself angled, but I'm also keeping all my guns to bear. I know this torpedo is not going to do a lot of damage to me. Maybe 10k if I'm lucky. But I already know this Yamato has trouble shooting at me. And, well, there you go. I'll take 6k from a Yamato any day. I can heal a lot of it back. So it looked like I was just potatoing, but had I not actually followed and turned into that torpedo, I would have lost a lot of DPM and potentially this kill as well. But I'm on a Kraken, and someone has to take it. So looking at the post-battle results, 716,000 credits earned, nearly 12k XP, Confederate high caliber, 218,000 damage, 12 planes shot down, nearly a Kraken. Very sad there. Only 4 ships killed. But 22 citadels, this might be a personal record for me. 22 citadels in a match is quite impressive, at least by my standards. Not a lot of HE usage, but why do you need to use HE when you can just pen anything, right, comrade? There you go. Team score-wise, wow, 31-48 to finish it off. Very nice game overall, I think. A lot of the base XP, I would guess, came from some of the plane kills, as well as just overall damage distribution between multiple ships, and doing a lot of percentage based damage, like that Minotaur getting like 6 citadels on him. Zhao killed him. Kerfers nailed him. That Benson especially killed him, nearly full health. And then Hakuryu again probably did a lot of damage there too. So very nice. Very nice game, I would say overall. Midway. My buddy 3FM, not too bad. CV economy is still, I would consider, broken at this point, so I think he did pretty well. Detailed report wise, there you go. You can see the damage distribution. You see there nearly 40k to the Hakuri, 30k to the Chapayev, Kutuzov 12k, Minotaur 45, the other Minotaur 30, and Kurfürst, I want to say around 30, 40k. So a lot of good damage distribution overall. Mainly AP focused. This whole replay was, like you saw, there are only 3 fires, and 3 fires with 54 HE shell hits. So maybe that's why you don't run a lot of HE Moskva. But look at that, 2.4 million damage tanked. If only I could have sent this into Flammos. Tanking for Christmas, I know I wouldn't have won, but a little too late. Either way, credits earned, 561 grand at T10. Can't ask for much more, and of course the Commander XP is nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. If you did, leave a like, and if you aren't subscribed, subscribe, because we are nearing our 2,000 sub mark, and we really do appreciate all of you guys who have stuck around for us, and just want to hit that 2K mark. Be a big achievement for us, and you guys as well. Discord link is in the description. Come chat with us there. And anyways, I will see you guys in the next video.